Hi, you guys. What's going on? My name is Rye Reed, the writer. I saw this video. It was circulating today on TikTok. It was of a man. He's a driver. He works for the company. Maybe you've heard of it, the Yellow Freight. I have. It's a very popular trucking company. He was told today that after working 30 years for this company, that he would no longer be receiving health care as well as his pension. So the video, it's heartbreaking because I have a lot of sentiment for people who have worked for companies for 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 plus years. You were told one thing that, hey, if I work for this company, if I work for you, the benefit would be this pension. When it came to me retiring when I'm 65 or 70 or whenever I'm ready to retire, that the promise would be that I would have this pension to survive off of. Now in the later years of my life, I can finally retire, have a slower paced life and rest a little bit and maybe do passion projects and travel or just be there with your family. Because trucking is incredibly tough. It's an incredibly tough job to be in. Any of my fellow watchers out there who are truckers, I salute you. You guys are amazing people. This country cannot run without you guys out there on the road day in, day out. I had a friend back in high school, her father was a trucker. Wonderful man. He was a pastor too. I'll never forget this. He had worked like a 2-3 day shift or something. As tired as he was, he would still manage to come home, be there with his family. He would take me and some of the friends I was, there with. He would take us to church. He would feed us. He was a really nice man, wonderful guy, just working hard, So I have a very soft place in my heart for truckers. But yeah, watch this video. We're going to talk about it. I found an article that's going to discuss it further. We can get a deeper analysis on the situation at hand.
Fucking job. It ain't you. It's these motherfuckers right here. It's the motherfuckers on the top. But now we gotta do this shit again. You gotta do this shit again. And nobody tell me, and nobody here tell me why I get emotional. Why you talk like this? That's fucking bad. You don't know what I motherfucking feel. I want my ass off of this motherfucker. Exactly. I've been here 30-something motherfucking years. Yeah, I agree with you. 30-something fucking years. You tell me I ain't got no motherfucking pension. Yeah, and nobody tell me to calm my ass down. Fuck everybody tell me to calm down. God damn it, this is my motherfucking money y'all playing with. You're right, Dwayne. Fuck that shit. So this is what I'll say. You gonna tell me how to motherfucking feel. Fuck that shit, man. So this is what I'll say. Fuck this shit. Okay. Anytime the government analyze that anytime shit. The government bails out a corporation or gives some
so freaking heartbreaking. Like I'm so heartbroken. And to any of my truckers who actually work for that company, I am so sorry that you are going through this and this is the news you got on Friday. Like, it's horrible getting news any day of the week. When you're told that you're no longer going to have like health care, your pension may or may not exist anymore on a Friday, because it's Friday, you're headed towards the weekend. That means your Saturday and your Sunday, you're not getting any rest. Going on strike on Monday, so you're no longer receiving like any payment. Plus, you might not even have a job coming in on Monday. More than likely not, since this company is filing for bankruptcy, Chapter 11. So it's incredibly sad. I hate that people are going through this during. We're in a recession. I think we're borderlining depression, depending on like what areas you are in, but. Where I'm at in California, it's bad. You can feel it. Like, I was alive during 2007. I was a little kid though, but I do remember people losing their homes, and I remember there being lines at food banks because there was a food bank out towards like San Bernardino. My mother would go out there and we would donate like cans and stuff like that. So I remember people lining up trying to get food, and I remember, people getting on the buses and them losing their cars, and my neighborhood, us losing neighbors. I'm feeling a lot of that tension again, that desperation, that we're losing, interest rates are up high, people don't have homes, rent is out of control, food is so expensive, eating out, it's everything is accumulating, and it's getting harder and harder for people. But to be in that situation where, you didn't do anything, you went to work, that's the only thing you did. You worked hard, you got up in the morning, you did your job, you transported whatever you needed to transport, you did your job for 30 years, and to have gotten news like that, it's just devastating. Before we kind of get into the article, I do want to read this to you guys, just in case you may not be aware of what a pension plan is. Then I'm also going to talk about the difference between a pension plan and a 401k, because I have a feeling someone in the comment section is going to be like, isn't a pension plan the same as a 401k? No, it's not. It's not. They like to tell you that nowadays, my younger generation, you guys, that, go ahead, 401k is the same thing as a pension plan. No, it's not. It's completely different. Companies basically just got on you when they said, hey, this pension plan is you don't need that anymore. It's about 401ks, and the 401k, you need to build that up. And no. There was a time before my time, probably around my parents' time, but even further past that, my grandfather's time, where you could work a company for 25, 30, 40 years. It was a given that after the time you spent working for that company would provide you a safe and comfortable retirement. Your annual salary per year. So, like, for example, my grandfather, how old is he? How old is Grandpa? Grandpa's 83. My grandfather's 83. Old guy. He had his kids late. My grandfather was a sheriff out in Orange County. He retired before I was born, like in the 1990s. When he retired receiving, I believe it was I think it was 90% of his salary. Plus, as time has gone on, his salary that he's received has adjusted for inflation. So, last I checked, I think back in like the early 2000s, my grandfather was making like 100,000, so 6 figures per year. And, it was recently adjusted for this year as well. So my grandfather's very comfortable, very well off, enjoying his life. He doesn't have to work. There's no need for it. He's making more money than people nowadays who are working. And that's why I say, when people say about the 401k, thinking it's like such a wonderful thing, just imagine this. You're working at a job, you're getting ready to retire, because this is what happened recently during the pandemic, and you're retiring, or you want to retire, and with your 401k, because your 401k is tied to your job, we hit like a recession like we just did. Your 401k, your stocks tied to that company crash or go under. Once you're done, once you kind of move out of this the recession, you end up losing like half your valuation for your stocks. So half of your 401k goes down. Like during the 07, 08 times, people who thought they were going to retire during that time, they could not retire because their 401k was slashed in half. They didn't have it. They couldn't retire. And so the people were forced to go back into the labor market for another 10, 15 years. And guess what? 2020, the same thing happened. It's heartbreaking. Just seeing all these cycles and companies and the way employees have been treated, and us getting like the bad hand of everything. It's so upsetting. How does a pension work? Pension plans require your employer to contribute money to your plan as you work. Once you retire, you earn the accrued pension money divided into monthly checks. In most cases, a formula determines the amount you receive. So it's kind of like I said before, depending on your pension plan, let's say you got like 85% of your gross salary, you would get, somewhere around that. Pension plans now, if they do exist, they're really bad. What is the difference between a pension versus a 401k? I'm getting all these off of Google, by the way. A pension plan is funded by the employer, while 401k is funded by the employee. So a pension plan, always remember that. A pension plan, that is the company paying for your retirement. A 401k is you putting a portion of your income, your like bi-weekly or maybe monthly paycheck into a like stock, something tied to the company, just depending on what it is. And after like the age of 65, you're able to tap into this 401k. You can tap into your 401k a little bit earlier, but you're going to get hit like with taxes and some other stuff. So it's better to just not touch it until it's of time for you to retire. But see the difference there? It's the difference between your employer paying for retirement so you can retire comfortably, than to now, with us employees now, we have to pay for our employment, our retirement, I mean. And depending on the market, because the market goes up and it goes down, that determines how much money you're going to have in your 401k. And if we're in a bad market like we just were, like, the market goes up and down in cycles, then you are screwed. Screwed. I'm going to read parts of it. If you do want to read the full article, it will be available in my description box down below. Also, if you're going to be in my description box, I'm an author, by the way. If you would like to check out any of my books, it's going to be down below. My books are available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and Apple. And I write books on like self-help and development and relationships, just healthy stuff. I like to keep stuff positive. But yeah, let's get into this article. The article is titled, Teamsters Threaten Strike as Yellow Trucker Misses Pension Payment. The Teamster Union is threatening a strike against trucking giant Yellow after the company missed healthcare and pension payments, putting fresh pressure on one of the country's biggest trucking companies as the carrier seeks to avoid bankruptcy. The union said Monday that a board overseeing pension and welfare funds for the unionized workers will suspend healthcare benefits and pension accruals from July 23rd unless Yellow makes the needed payments by the end of this week. The Teamster says that if the payments aren't made, Yellow workers could strike as soon as July 24th. So that's upcoming to this Monday. As when the strike will be happening. And it definitely will be happening on Monday. Just be prepared for that. Be prepared to see some strikes. It's going to affect you and me. You may not realize it right now, but the cost of shipping items and products are definitely going to be going up very soon. The Board of Trustees of the Central States Southeast and Southwest Areas Health and Welfare Fund, which manages benefits for Teamster members, says Yellow withheld payments due July 15 and advised it would withhold payments due August 15th. The board said the payments for the 2 months total more than $50 million, and that's an absolute mess. My gosh, it's an absolute mess. Like how? Like we need to start holding these companies accountable, and that's really just something that we're gonna have to start doing. Like I know other countries. I can't remember what country did that. I don't know if it was Sweden or Norway. But it was like during the 2007 era that all those corrupt bankers that were stealing money from people, they put those people, those corrupt people, into prison. And I don't understand why here in America we don't do that. Like it should be an automatic. Like if you're running a company, you're like US funded, you're given money. Oh, Yellow was given, I believe it was like, they made $700 billion over 2 years. Then they were also given pandemic relief fund. I believe that they owe a portion back. But the point is they acquired all this capital. Then now, as I get deeper into the article, they only have in like reserves 100 million. So the past 2 years, you made $700 billion. And out of all that money, you only have $100 million left. Plus now you owe Teamsters $50 million, that's owed back to the drivers. Like, what the hell? Like, where's this money going to? And it makes me wonder, like, what were the executives doing? What was the CEO of this company doing? And I truly believe it has to be some form of corruption. It's corruption at its finest. And I'm noticing this trend where these corporations, FTX, these crypto funds, like all this stuff, the people with way at the top incur ghastly amounts of wealth and income. The people at the bottom hardly make anything. They're scraping by. The executives, the CEOs, they get out with getting bonuses and rewards for, I'm not sure even what they're doing with this company, like, especially with this company. Like, this company looks like it's been ran into the ground, but, they get all these bonuses and, their pay is like probably like millions of dollars. Yet, when it comes down to actually paying people, when we're hitting the finish line, there's no money left. So that's what I'm saying. I'm believing, just the way this is looking, I'm believing these people like stole money, especially if they're filing for bankruptcy, for Chapter 11, so they can kind of scapegoat out of paying anyone. Yeah, they took this money, they took their money, they ran, and once bankruptcy is filed, everyone's screwed except for the people who collected their money. It's so horrible that people do this too. Like, I have a conscience. I have a conscience. I feel guilt. I feel shame. I worry about my soul, my spirit, like, while I exist on this planet. And, I always try to make sure that I leave an impact on people, that I'm doing like my absolute best. Especially the older I get, like, I always want to make sure I'm leaving like a positive like example of myself. I could not imagine running a company knowing that it's falling apart, money is just evaporating, where is it going? No one knows, but they know where it's going. It's not scamming, but you're just stealing money, you're taking money, you're moving money, and comes down to the bottom line, you win, you leave with millions of dollars, but the people who've been working at your company, I don't know how much this driver is making in the video, but let's say he's making like $65,000, which it's absolute nothing, especially in California. You're poor. You're making $65,000. You've been working at this job for 30 years. You're in your 50s, you're in your 60s. And the only thing that you've asked for is just a pension. Like, that was promised to you and your healthcare, and like, they stole that from you. Like, I don't know how these CEOs and these executives sleep. They do sleep, because this is like a continuation. We keep seeing this in the news cycles like every couple months. It's been a lot, like, especially for this year, for 2023. Like, my gosh, so many companies have been falling for like bankruptcy, who, they're just missing money, and, huge bailouts from the government, but the people who actually put their money in there, especially the crypto situation. And I'm sorry for anyone who's in FTX. I feel so bad for you. Those people lost their money, but the people way at the top get reimbursed for their money or give themselves bonuses. But it's like, damn, like, you have to be some type of evil, just diabolical kind of person where you're okay with just leaving a sinking ship. Like, the ship is on fire, it's burning. You're the captain. This is your ship. You're the one who steered it into this glacier. And you chose to steer this ship into this glacier. And you get off on a buoy. You have a small little ship or a small little boat that you get off, and a few of your close executive friends. And everyone else on the boat burns. Like, this burns. Everyone else crashes. Like, everyone's stuck picking up the pieces and wondering why. Like, it's horrible. Hopefully down the line, someone does like a case study on this, to study this company and, just debunk what the heck happened here. I have a feeling I already know what happened. It's just corruption, mismanagement of money, not wanting to pay the employees, but it just, it sucks. But yeah, my heart goes out to you guys, to those truckers, and, I just don't know what's going to happen. But yeah, the news is the news, and it's important we tell these stories to keep people up to date on like what's happening in the world. But I appreciate you guys. Just make sure you guys share, like, keep the comment section nice and clean. If you are a driver with yellow freight, with yellow, and you have more information on this topic, because I just gave you guys like a brief like synopsis of just something I saw off of the Wall Street Journal. If you have more information about this topic and you are a driver, please comment down below, and I would love to talk to you and even even interview you. Maybe we can go on like Instagram Live or Facebook Live, and I can put the video up. But yeah, I would love to talk to one of you guys, or you just want to share your story, comment down below. And if you know any other drivers who are experiencing losing their pension, healthcare, fears for this upcoming strike, comment down below. You can message me and I'll try to message you back. But yeah, you know, I'm 100% here for you guys. If it came down to you guys were striking and you guys, you know, were out towards like the Southern California area, I might even go down there and do some journalism type stuff just to get that story out. But yeah, you know, we all got to stick together. Truckers, you guys matter. You guys matter so much. But yeah, God bless you guys. Have a wonderful night. I pray that you guys get a lot of sleep. And, you know, upcoming Monday, we'll find out what's going to happen.
Damn. It just seems as if yellow can't stay out of the news cycles. They're never in there for anything good. What's going on, steering wheel holders? So what's going on now is there's yellow workers who are threatening to have a strike this July 24th because yellow did not pay their pension and healthcare payments that was for July 15th. All right. So because they didn't pay, the workers are like, you know what? We're going to strike on July 24th. All right. And the thing is, whenever a company is going through their financial issues, things are not going right, the people who get hurt the most are the workers. Okay. The workers get hurt the most. So, I mean, people are fed up with this company. So, you know, they're ready to just throw it away. But the reason why the company said that they withheld the payments were because they wanted to preserve liquidity. All right. Let's remember. All right. They got a $700 million pandemic relief payment in 2020. And what they're trying to do right now is they're trying to refinance $1.2 billion in loans that are due in 2024. The issue is interest rates are so high that if they go and refinance those loans, which I don't know what interest rates they have right now on those loans, but they go and refinance those loans, they're gonna have bigger payments. They might have a longer extension in time, but they might have bigger payments and it might cost them more. So I don't know if that's even worth it. They're trying to consolidate the business as well. I'm not sure if that's going to work, but let me know what you think in the comment section. Peace.
Breaking news. Today is Friday. Monday, all those truck drivers that put 30, 40 years in with yellow freight will no longer have a job. That means they don't have a pension because yellow freight hadn't been sending the money to where they were supposed to have been sending the money to, but yet they made $700 billion in 2 years. And they refused to send the $50 million to where it's supposed to be a debt. So they decide they will close the doors come Monday. So all those people that put all that time in have to start all the way to the bottom again. But what if they're 65 years old, ready to retire? Oh well.